Yeah, farming has been in our lives forever. Actually, that's what I wanted to do when I went to college, but my mother said, you know, you maybe better do something else just in case that don't work out. I'm Walter Aschoff, and we're at Four Aces Dairy in Osmond, Nebraska. This is a family dairy, I guess you could say. The Four Aces stand for the four kids, Robert, Kelly, Charlie, and Bennett. We started this dairy, well, I should say my son started a couple years ago. He fell in love as we built a dairy out in Clearwater for teals through Aschoff Construction, and since then have acquired Automated Dairy Supply and our Automated Dairy Specialist. And he kind of fell in love with dairy, so we started milking a couple cows, and then he got to where he got up to about 8 cows and then 23 this summer, and then we kind of had the idea for this robot barn, which is probably more about sales for both our dairy company and construction than it is milking cows. To show off what Aschoff Construction can build, partnered with Automated Dairy Specialists and Lely, all the red equipment, as well as then a barn for where we can do our farm management support and actually mimic out here what every other dairy producer does and be as knowledgeable as we can to them. Jessie Sayers joined our team in January, I believe, and she's taking on that role as well as being our herds lady, I guess you could say here. And then a third of this is for the kids to have fun milking cows. This 120 lactating cows probably won't be a full day's work. But every day we do a little bit of fetching, go out and get the few cows that don't milk themselves. Obviously there's breeding and herd health to be done, new calves being born all the time. We have automatic feed systems, so we're always filling the feed kitchen as well. Due to the robotics, it does cut down on labor, and all of us fight labor, finding good quality labor. The robotics, they do show up every day and so forth, so it does limit the number of laborers or help, but it also then requires a little bit more skilled labor in knowing the robotics. So all the cows out here have a collar on them that has an ID in them. Our barn's set up a little bit beyond that. We actually have location, so we can look on our phone and see where cow 62 is. Maybe she's in the install laying down. But then with that ID, they are allowed then to milk whenever they want to, but if they haven't met a certain interval, it actually lets the cow just pass through without being milked. But they come up, doors open on the robots. If they're allowed to milk, they're given a little bit of feed. They're milked and then put back out into the general population, and then come up again. It's kind of a free flow, so they come up whenever they want to. I do see this facility expanding. We're set up to expand to the east, 240 cows, probably sooner than later. It'll make it more profitable. The community has been great. They love what we're doing, and where we're sitting at is actually a viewing room set up for 24-hour viewing that we will do down the road here. Hopefully after the first year the cows get trained and we get trained. We'll set this up as an informational, what dairy's all used for and the history of the breeds we have, and just really be informational, hopefully to teach some of the younger generation where their food comes from, how the benefits of dairy, both from all the way from full fat dairy to everything that's made out there, how good it is for them.
Grow Nebraska Communities. To learn more about growing your community, contact the Alliance for the Future of Agriculture in Nebraska.